Good morning. It's Tuesday, February 20th, 2024. This is the Christmas special. I believe it's been a few months since I've put a video online. I've recorded quite a few, but never went to the trouble of uploading them for the same reasons as always. If you've seen the other videos, you know I'm really just too tired in the morning, can't come up with content, blah, blah, blah. I've told a bunch of stories. I think I have over 100 videos on each channel. I don't know what my goal was. The original goal was to just make videos of me driving to work in silence for an hour and a half, 2 hours every day. Never did that because I can't shut up. But the reason I'm calling this the Christmas special, if I can say that, was recently got together with a bunch of friends over the weekend. I think it was, I'm gonna call it Sunday. Pretty sure it was Sunday. Yeah, Sunday we got together at the Franconia restaurant somewhere on Earth, and had a nice breakfast. Then we went back to one of my buddies' places afterwards, and all of us met and talked and things like that. It's really nice to get together with them, but I don't tell them that in person. It's really cold, by the way. Not only do I stammer and stutter, but I'm frickin' freezing. It's 20 degrees, and my car hasn't warmed up yet. Let me turn on the seat warmer. So anyway, it was a really nice time, but it seems intentional, but it's not. But I'm very awkward around people, even my friends. If I haven't seen them in a long time, it takes a really long time for me to acclimate to the water. So I'm a little twitchy and weird, and I didn't apologize to them for that, but I'm apologizing to you, the one random viewer that might see this video. And possibly Matt, who I believe watches some of my videos, and may be very, very surprised today when a new video finally pops up after months and months of silence. So, it was kind of funny getting ready for the we literally hadn't seen them in 2 years, so we had a couple of years worth of gifts built up. It's like I say, it's not like family Christmas. It's not like we're like burying the kids and like each other in gifts. It's just like, one or two real gifts, and then like just a bunch of silly stuff. Not even a bunch, it's just a couple of silly things. Can't even explain why you're giving them. Light up fish and things like that. So yeah, getting that together, because we hadn't seen them in a couple of years. Some of the gifts we had bought had literally expired. Some experienced proton decay and no longer existed. But like anything, all the joke I made was bananas and avocados and tuna fish sandwiches. They were all no good because they were a couple years old. But the actuality was like my one friend, he's slightly into hot sauce, so I like to get him and it's stupid because I don't think about this till after the fact. In fact, my one friend had a brilliant idea on the way to meet up for Christmas in February. Last Christmas, not this past Christmas. We were meeting up for last Christmas in February. This February, so he sent out a gift card. I'm like, damn, he's so smart. Like all this heartache trying to replace things that expired, like trying to make sure you have like something that feels like you're giving someone a gift and not just handing them some trash to pay. Like, hey, could you throw this out for me, or could you return this for me? So that was brilliant. I was thinking the same things. Like, I keep buying him hot sauce because, I'm trying to think, what do I know about it? Like, I've known him my whole life. Like, I know lots of stuff about him. But there's that anxiety. It's like, what could they really use? Like, does he want a scanning electron microscope? Does he need a new pencil? He talks about hot sauce once every 7 months. Let me get him some hot sauce. And so anyway, the point is, that's one of the things that expired. Was I got him a big pack of variety hot sauces, and they're all expired. I don't know that they go bad. Some of them discolor, and I've noticed that more and more with hot sauces. Like even with what's it called? I put that stuff on everything. Not me, but that's what's called. I do put Red Hot. Is it Red Hot? It sounds like a candy. Let's just go with Red Hot now. You would know it. It's an iconic bottle. It comes in buffalo and regular. This doesn't roll off the tongue. I don't think it's called Red Hot, is it? Who knows? It's not Sriracha or Tabasco. It's that other major brand thing. So anyway, yeah, that even, like I've noticed, keeps changing color. Maybe I'm not protecting it from the light enough, but I thought I was. But yeah, like it doesn't. Like I go through some hot sauce, and that stuff it becomes discolored. It like turns yellow and solid, and you know, it throws shade in your direction. So anyway, the point to that part of the story was that it was nice to get together and see people in person, even though I didn't say it in person, and that probably bothers them. But that's okay. What are you gonna do? So yeah, like I said, it's been a few months since I did a video. It's hard to believe, but that's it. That's the only new content I have for you. Nothing new and interesting is happening in the world of Chris. None of the projects that I talked about got finished, because it seems that when I make these videos, I'm more inclined to get projects done because I have to report on progress to my my non-existent audience. Like my weight literally leveled out. Like I said, I was losing weight. The day I stopped making videos, my weight capped out right there around 200, just under. So like literally, I've been in stasis. If I don't make videos, my life doesn't change. That's not true, but it's funny to say. Part of the reason I started recording so early today is someone mentioned the highlight of the video for them, and they said it completely sarcastically, was when I stopped for coffee and I showed whether or not the seam was lined up with the seam on the cup is lined up with the drinking spell. So that was my intention. I was going to probably just end the video after I got to the place of coffee. It's funny, like I'm driving, so obviously most of my attention is focused on driving, and I've realized when I make these videos, I often say Wawa instead of Dunkin' Donuts. Even though I'm stopping at Dunkin' Donuts for coffee, I say Wawa, and I don't know why. Interesting. Not at all. We had a few belly laughs while we were together at the restaurant. I had a gift card that I had gotten for that place. It had to be over 3 years ago, at least 2 years ago, and it was still good. It still had money on it, so that was pretty awesome. That was a nice surprise. Breakfast was practically free. We have a nice. It was very like. Most buffets are like really crappy, or I can't say most. I haven't been to most buffets. I know there's a lot of them out there, but many a time when you go to a restaurant, like you order the buffet because then you've got the variety and you can eat as much as you want. Being a fat American, I like eating as much as I want. But it's a breakfast buffet, so it's just eggs facing the other way, eggs upside down. That's pretty much it. But the buffet was pretty good. They had what I just described. They had eggs, scrambled eggs, omelets, a different kind of scrambled, different kind of omelet, eggs Benedict. And this isn't even not even really a bad thing. The eggs Benedict, the eggs yolks, and I can kind of understand why they're all the whole thing's hot dish. The egg yolks were a little overdone. They weren't really runny. And that's like literally the only complaint I can come up with. The food was great. And then they had like all the meats on the other side: bacon, sausage, hot Italian sausage, kielbasa, scrapple. Then they had like cinnamon toast sticks and waffles and pancakes, and it's a breakfast buffet. I really don't have to list all the foods that go into a breakfast buffet. You get it. And anyway, everything was good. Everything was cooked well, and I just love me some kielbasa. So I'm just not going to be able to squeeze enough content out of the going to breakfast story to get me to Dunkin' Donuts. I'm going to have to tell some other story, something that's happened in the past few months. So Christmas happened, President's Day happened yesterday. Whew, what a whirlwind of activity that was. It was just a regular work day for me. there's that. I guess just to fill time and to bore the hell out of you, I could list some projects I haven't finished. The walls in the party room, like I said, the one wall is drywalled. It hasn't been spackled yet. The other wall, I started insulating it. Haven't started sheetrocking it yet. Literally about a day's worth of work to get that finished. But the problem is now it's taken so long that a bunch of furniture has been moved back into place. So there's multiple Lego racks and things like that that have to be pulled out so that I can finish doing that wall. I have all the supplies, I just need to do it. I went to bed relatively early last night, not with the intent of being awake enough to make this video, but because I was tired. That and there's I won't go into any detail because it's work, but there's a bunch of stuff I have to do at work, so I need to make sure I get in there relatively early because there's out-of-towners in and process improvement, lots and lots of stuff to do. Haven't gone on any trips. I kicked a cardboard box a couple times over the past few days. I really should move that box. I keep kicking it. I don't know if I've even posted since Halloween. If I haven't, the day of Halloween, and maybe I'll attach the video. I took a video at day and night, so we didn't decorate for Halloween until the day of Halloween, and of course we took them down the very next morning, so it's kind of not what we normally do. And actually got like at least 7 groups of visitors, which is unusual. We usually get somewhere between none and 1. But yeah, at least 7 groups of visitors. I can count them because I actually took a picture of everybody that showed up, took a picture of their outfits. Because I'm creepy like that. But anyway, while Cassie was at school, we decided to decorate the lawn. My wife was just going to put out a couple of things, and I just went nuts. I started putting out like everything we had. I started cobbling decorations together with sticks and sheets, and plus we have a bunch of inflatables. And a few days, I guess, I don't think it was Halloween Day, but a few days prior to Halloween, we're one of those weirdos that have the 12-foot skeleton, but we don't want to put it outside because it's not, no matter what you do, it's very prone to fall over, and it's plastic, so it'll break. So I have extremely high ceilings, so I literally have it standing in my vestibule. So for Halloween, I made a little path that you have to come down across the lawn through. It takes you through some of the decorations. You walk down the path, you come to the door, and as you walk up to the door, I have it way in the back of the vestibule. I have a big vestibule. Way in the back of the vestibule, there's this just giant 12-foot skeleton standing there facing you. And I'm sitting in a chair handing out candy. And everyone who saw it really liked it. That was cool. One of the other cool things I had those lights that you can put outside and it projects an image onto your house, like it could be witches or snowmen or whatever. I think ours was witches. So what I did was I set it up inside the house and I closed the shears on the windows. So like it was reverse projection. So you saw these witches and stuff going across the shears on the windows. It was pretty cool. You couldn't see it during the day, but after dusk, it was a pretty good effect. I liked it. Yeah, like I said, probably on this channel and maybe on the other channel, I'll post the 2 videos I made of it. You're all thinking, oh, this sounds really cool. No, it's cheesy. The whole thing was cheesy. It's an inflatable Michael Jackson black cat arch that you walk through. It's not a Michael Jackson cat. It plays Thriller. And there's a big inflatable spider. It's not like, it sounds like I went through a lot of work, but when you see the video, it's like, yeah, this is pretty cheesy. You'll see. Oh, you'll see. We're getting closer and closer to coffee, if you're wondering how long this is going to go on. One of my buddies has lost a lot of weight. My other buddy has gotten significantly taller, and for some reason he's lying about it. He's saying he's the same height he's always been, and clearly not true. Clearly not true. He has definitely gotten taller. he's a couple of years younger than me. He recently turned 50 within the past couple of years. I thought he was significantly younger than me, because I'm 53. I mean, I'm turning 54 in a couple of minutes, but in July. But I thought I had like 4 years on him, but apparently it's less than 4. It's more like 3 or 2. Here we are, approaching the Huawa. Can I angle this so you get to see who's serving me coffee? I probably shouldn't.
How can I help you?
Hi, can I get a large black coffee, please?
Large black, anything else?
That's it.
We do 17.
All right.
Very well.
Hi. Thank you. Oh, great, thank you. You too. I seem so polite. Oh, I forgot to show you the seam. Let me put my ball away. Oh, erg. Ow, pulled my hair. Ow, pulled my hair. Son of a diddly. Let's see, how do we do? Ah, it didn't line up. All right, here's the seam. And the sippy spot's way over here. That's not bad. That sucks. I mean, it's great that they're not lined up, but clearly they're not. It's a random thing. In case you haven't seen any of these other videos, the reason that's a thing is because when the sippy part lines up with the seam, it is much more likely to dribble coffee on you, because that's generally what's in the cup. So it's more likely to dribble coffee on you than if it's not. That's happened to me a few times. In fact, I'm going to rotate it the rest of the way to the back of the cup, just because my OCD is out of control. All right. Somehow I've got a cup of hot brown. It just makes me so happy. I'm gonna smell it. Doesn't smell half bad. It's I've mentioned this in other videos. It's weird, and I don't know how this happens, but actually I could probably figure it out if I tried even just a little bit. But the quality of the coffee varies from day to day, and I'm sure it has to do with how recently they changed out the coffee, how well they cleaned the basket, stuff like that. But I've had at any of the given, like there's a Dunkin' Donuts coffee location. There's a Dunkin' Donuts up by where I live. It's definitely up, right? Up by where I live, and I got an amusing anecdote about wine, which has nothing to do with wine. So anyway, there's a Dunkin' Donuts up by me that we no longer go to. Like, no matter how desperate we are for coffee, we will not go to that Dunkin' Donuts. And it's in an extremely convenient location. But there's two things. The service is absolute. I have no idea. It was different people. We kept trying. There must be something about the ergonomics of that particular location that makes it difficult for the people who work there to serve you coffee. So even if you're the only person in line, it takes forever. If you're not the only person in line, you might as well give up because you're going to die there. It takes them forever to get through every car. And even if people are just ordering coffee, I have no idea what's going on in that place. Second, the coffee almost always sucked. Like, not only does it take them forever, it takes them forever to get you bad coffee. So we just flat out don't go there anymore. We gave them 87 chances, and they blew it. So there you go. The rest of the point was that this place has also made me coffee that was literally undrinkable. Tasted like sometimes I joke about I like dark coffee, I like it bitter, I like it to taste like a dirty ashtray. I don't like it to taste like concentrated dirty ashtray, which is what I got from there once, and it was unbelievably undrinkable. Like, you know, if I was told that was the only coffee left in the world, I would have passed. So anyway, interesting story about wine. Has nothing to do with wine, but I don't know if we're all dyslexic, but the people at the table, my friends, were having a conversation about dyslexia, and they were doing the L thing, which is one of my typical jokes, because I've left-right dyslexia. I've got orientation issues sometimes, and like they'll hold your hands out, whichever one looks like an L, that's your left hand. Like, they both look like L's. I don't know what you're trying to do here. What's funny is, like, I'm sure I've told this story because I've told all my stories in these videos, but how I figure out which one is my right hand is, I think it was third grade, Mrs. Giuliano's class, the American flag. I have a really good picture memory. Like, I can see things very, very well. I think that, but who knows? Like, there probably wasn't an 8-foot flaming octopus in that classroom back then, but that's how I remember it. So anyway, the point is that I always remember that above the door, like, I sat somewhere middle of the class, and the door was over here, and above the door was the flag. So we would say the Pledge of Allegiance. Yes, I'm that old. We would say the Pledge of Allegiance and hold our right hand across our heart. So I knew it was over there. I knew it was this hand. That's how I did it every day. That's how I knew which hand to use, because it's that one, the one over there by the flag. So, but I make this funny joke because I've got that visualization in my head. I can also just change the picture. I can just be facing forward on a boat, and I know left is port. And the reason I know left is port is because the way I remember, not the reason I know. This sentence is not the reason I know something, but it's how I remember something. Left is port because left and port both have 4 letters. So that doesn't help me know my right from my left, but I do know my right because I've got that other picture going on in my head. So I can picture myself facing it. And for some reason, it's actually easier for me to know my left hand if I picture myself on a boat. And I don't know if it's because I drilled that into my head so hard that left is port, and like I just used to, like just subconsciously I do this with my hand for no reason. So this hand knows left, but I definitely don't know right. So now I'm just right dyslexic, not right left dyslexic, which really doesn't make any sense at all. So anyway, the rest of the story, while we were at breakfast, my buddy Matt, I was telling the port is left story, and he had another story which I don't know if I've heard before, but the way he knows that port is left, I don't believe this has anything to do with dyslexia. It just has to do with knowing which way port is. And this all applies if you're facing the front of the ship. If you're facing the back of the ship, there's no way to figure it out. You don't know your left from your right. There's just no possible way to calculate it. Anyway, so the way he knows that facing front, left is port, is the sentence, there's no port left, meaning there's no port wine left. I just thought that was pretty cool. It's like, I'd never heard that one before. Again, it's just another little simple thing to remember, very easy to remember. So that's that. I'm at a red light. I'm at Plank Road. The reason that's interesting, I'm at Plank and skip back. The reason that's interesting is it's not. But my one buddy that we were hanging out with, he is related to Maxwell Planck, which is really cool. Like I like for some people, like some people would be really, really impressed if you were like related to someone like Jimi Hendrix or like like some kind of movie star. Like, but I find that really cool that he's related to Maxwell Planck, who's very, very famous science guy. I won't go into detail. You can look him up, but he's really cool. So, like, slightly jealous. Like, oh man, you're related to him. That rocks. Oddly, he's not the friend of mine that's really the math nerd. The other buddy I was hanging out with is the one that's really, really like geeks out to math like I do. I was doing something crazy the other day with Excel, having to do with pi this time, and hard. It shouldn't be hard to describe what I was doing, but so what I was doing was I created an Excel. I created an Excel spreadsheet that would calculate the circumference of a circle, which is really easy. It's like why is it 2 times the radius times pi? Why wouldn't it just be the diameter times pi? Why did I write it that way? Diameter times pi is the circumference of a circle, right? So why do they go 2r pi? Why are you taught 2r? I don't know. It's not important. I'm probably saying the wrong equation. I'm not. It's definitely the diameter times pi, so why did I use 2r pi? Anyway, the point is this. I was calculating the circumference of a circle. Like one 1-inch diameter circle would have a circumference of 3.14159, blah, 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 whatever. So going up like one at a time, like taking a few 100,000. I can't remember if I went to 500,000 or a million. Somewhere between 500,000 and a million entries. Took all of those, and then the distance. What I was looking for was the pattern for the distance to a whole number, meaning that I wanted to see the frequency, like because 2 would have been 6.28. You get it. Like, so the part that was important to me was the just the decimal. So I wrote a there's probably a simpler way to do this, but what I did was I took integer. What integer does is it just takes the number. It doesn't round it. It just takes the number, and even if it rounded it, didn't matter because I could have just adjusted for that. But so let's say my circle is 1-inch diameter, so the circumference is 3.14159, and then it takes the integer of that, which is 3, and then it subtracts that from the answer I got, which gives me the 14159, ... Now, when I did 2 inches, the decimal point was 0.2. So the point was, this is further from 0 or 0.9999999. So I ran that a few 100,000 times, and then I took the data, color coded it, and you got bands of 7 repeating. Like I did a hot, cold, depending on the distance from 0 on the remaining decimal. And then, I ran mins and maxes, like how close did it get to 0, how close did it get to 9999, what numbers were they, and some interesting things happened. And I know it's a lot of work to do something that you could probably figure out where I was going in my head. In your head, you could figure out what I was trying to do. Try to find the pattern, like what is the frequency, like what numbers, is there a pattern to, like what is the number pattern that gets it closer to either to the 0 or to the 999, meaning pushing it up to the next number. It's an irrational number, so there is no rational number that's going to give me a 0 or a 999, but I'm wondering, is there a path? Is there a series of numbers where you can quickly go racing towards that magical rational number that would multiplied by pi give you a rational circumference? And like I said, once I did that, I color coded them, and then I sorted them by ascending and declining. What was interesting, the numbers I got. I'm not going to go too much into it, but do it for yourself. It's a lot of fun. But I meant to get together with not Matt, but my other buddy, Dave and talk about that, and I completely forgot to. So, and I'll probably forget to again after I stop this video. But it's some interesting stuff. Probably not interesting to most people. It's something that's probably well understood. But I saw some interesting patterns arise while doing that. So I hope I've put you all to sleep at this point. I will end it because I really don't have much else to talk about, and it's starting to get really boring. I'm going down a math tangent, and I could literally do that for the next 2 hours. It would be absolutely horrible. So, have a wonderful day.